Good morning, everyone. This is Jen catching you on DTWJ, representing NJ all day. And I wanted to talk about something really quick that is on my mind and is also bothering me. This is about the Baltimore riots, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that are thinking that I'm a cracker just for saying the word riots. But it is what it is, okay? Honestly, after Eric Gardner had been strangled to death by an NYPD officer, if his mother did not stand up and say that if we fought or became violent in protest of his death, it would dishonor his son, her family, and it would also prove that people are pretty much nothing but barbarians, you know? And she's right. She's absolutely right about that. There is no fighting that's going to bring Freddie Gray back. Okay? I just don't, excuse me. It's not going to happen, okay? This is ridiculous. Um, I don't know how strong the Occupy movement is out in Baltimore, but I know for sure that if the Occupy movement had gotten together long before the riots had begun, it would have probably ended up being a more peaceful assembly and protest. Because the Occupy movement does not believe in dismantling the government. It everybody involved in the Occupy movement believes in ridding of the corruption. There is no eradication. There is no violence. There is no sense in it. It's ridiculous. Now, with that being said, I have a friend. His name is Gene Wagner. He's an original occupier, and he actually is one of the co-creators of the Occupy store over out in Rhode Island, New York. And I know that, I know that because he told me that all I have to do is just take the LIRR train over and bam, it's right there in front of the station, like across the street from the station, which is awesome. In which at that time I had donated $100 that I otherwise would not have had, but I did it anyway, so that they could pay the UPS drivers to um, take goods and clothing and all that other stuff over to distressed families as a result of Hurricane Irene. Not Irene, I apologize, Sandy. That was Hurricane Sandy. And he invited me to go to Union Square Park tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York City. And I don't really see that going well. And Gene, if you can hear me, I'm afraid for your safety. I truly am. I tried inboxing you. You didn't get back to me, so here I am mentioning it. This is nothing like an Occupy movement protest. Um, this is pure outright tyranny. It truly is. I don't support the prejudice of corrupt officers, but I also don't support the tyranny that happens behind the riots. Because now you have people, who are afraid to leave their homes to go out into the street. You have business owners who have to shut down their businesses or otherwise risk having them broken into. Otherwise, well, even if they did shut down their businesses, they would still get broken into regardless. Because it's a riot. That's all it is a riot. It's tyranny. Okay? It's just outright violence. How do you expect society to progress? How do you expect any change to happen within society if violence and tyranny are the things that you rely on in order to get a message across? The only message that I'm getting from that, from my end personally, is that you don't give a shit about life. You have no regard for it. Because if you did care about life, you would care about your own lives. You would not be out there fighting violently. Because you're only risking death. More death. It is not going to solve anything. And I don't care how many people out there are watching this video who are tempted to call me a cracker for it. That makes you racist. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Do you see me using the N-word? I would not dare. Not even in my own home, off of camera. I would never, because I was not raised like that. That is not the kind of family that I come from. So don't expect me, to lower myself and support white supremacy. I don't. Not whatsoever. I'm not about the divide. But at the same time, I am not about being violent and cooking up tyranny and risking not only my life, but the lives of others, just so I could prove something. You're not proving anything by being violent. You're only proving that death and despair are possible. That's all you're proving. That's all you're proving. Honestly, when I look at something like this, I compare it to the Middle East. Everything that's going on over there. Yeah, that's right, I do. With the jihad and the ISIS. Yeah, I do. I'm partially Syrian. I have the right to see it that way. Even if I wasn't, I pay attention to the news. I'm not stupid. I'm not ignorant. I compare it to that. Yeah, I do. The Middle East is incredibly impoverished, and because of that, there is nothing but tyranny and despair and sadness and darkness. And you would hear an Israeli or Arabic woman, an Arabian woman, sitting up and saying, there is no point in this. There is no point in this. There is no point in violence. It does not resolve anything. And it does not make me a person of hate. It makes me a person of peace. Because I sit up here and I am fighting for equality and I'm fighting for peace. I am an Arabian woman who is fighting for peace and equality so that I and my children and my family can live a decent life. I sit here, an American woman, saying that I am sick of the tyranny because it is only going to cost us more lives. It's not going to solve anything. So you could sit there and call me a cracker all you want. But the violence in our impoverished nation that is just getting out of the recession is not going to solve anything. It is not going to create opportunity for the future. It is not going to feed our women and children. It is not going to help us to work. It is not going to help us to create, never mind build or expand business. Why? Because all of our businesses are being broke into and shut down. Tell me, how does this create a sound future for us, our children, our future generations? What does this do for us? Nothing. It does absolutely nothing. So for the Arabian women who are out there in the Middle East, oh, I commend you, ma'am. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do, because I sit here, an American woman, saying the same thing. This is not going to get us anywhere. And that's all I have to say about it. This has been Jen catching you on DTWJ. Keeping it real as always. I'll see you on the next video. Stay out of the streets.